Alright, so it's part 2 of my Big East preview / week 1 review. Did Villanova, Xavier, Seton Hall in the first one, so check that out. So we're gonna look at the second tier in the Big East. You got Providence, Creighton, St. John's, and Marquette and Butler could break through into that second tier, but we'll keep it to those three for now and let the other two prove themselves a little more. We'll start with Providence. And they're looking to establish themselves as that 4th team in the upper tier. Kind of came a long way in doing that against Minnesota, but I lost that one late. A little more battle-tested team, a little more talented team. But at Providence, it begins with their seniors. Didn't have any graduates last year. The seniors got the point guard Cartwright, Jalen Lindsey, Rodney Bullock, and then Emmett Holt. Holt's been out with the virus, but Cartwright's been one of the better improvers in the conference the last few years. He's gotten better. He's taken the reins on that point guard job. And then Lindsey and Bullock, two small forward shooters. Bullock, probably their best player. Then you got a couple kind of newcomers, guys who are more about establishing themselves a little more this year. At least seems like Isaiah Jackson's a junior transfer. And he's brings a little versatility. He's been shooting great so far. A little size. He's 6'6". I think a problem with them last year was they didn't have much size. Holt, was a bit more of a shooter for them. He was their only big last year. But this year they bring in Khalifa Young, who's now a sophomore, and then the freshman Nate Watson. Watson has been very good early. He's should be interesting to watch down the road. He's making an instant impact as a freshman. I think a little more polished than thought coming in. But he still is raw, but he brings the energy, plays hard. And I think he could be big for them, providing some size inside. Another guy on the wing, you got Alpha Diallo. Showed some promise last year as a freshman. Had some pretty good games. He should continue to improve. And then I think, off the bench, they're pretty deep with ball handlers, Drew Edwards and Makayash and Langford. And Langford was their top recruit, and hopefully he'll be the next great Providence point guard. I think the takeaway with Providence is that they're deep and they have size at all positions. It's clear why they're so highly esteemed. This is a good balance of young guys and veterans, and they got good players at every position. They should make some noise this year. They'll come like a tournament team. Moving to Creighton, we know Papa McBuckets always brings the offense. Had a couple 100-point games already, to a couple 90-point games. Tough loss last night against Baylor. They folded a bit in the second half after really they dominated the first half. But I think this team definitely looks a little tougher than they have in years past. Play a little more defense. But it still starts with their offense. That's where they butter their bread, so to say. And it starts with the firepower on the wings. Marcus Foster, Kyrie Thomas. Foster now in his second year at Creighton, across the course the transfer from Kansas State. Who's first team all conference. Great shooter, great scorer. And then Kyrie Thomas. It started with his defense, but he's become a much better offensive player. Very good shooter. Both those guys can really shoot. Last year, I think with the Mo Watson drama and his injury, more so, the point was a bit of an issue after he went down. They got 3 guys there, I think, who can pick up the slack this year. Caleb Joseph's hasn't played much. He's been working his way back from a hamstring injury. Haven't heard too much about him, but talented transfer from Syracuse. Devion Mintz, who was played last year for Watson. He's a good defender. He's looked pretty good running the offense. He's quick, tough to stay in front of. But I think the answer looks like Tyshawn Alexander, the freshman. He's an impact offensive player, shooting ability, good passing ability. He could get to the hole. He plays solid defense. But he was a little sloppy sometimes, a little freshman sloppiness. But his offense has been awesome early in his career. And I think the bigs are also pretty good as well. This is probably where they lack the most. They have some scores up front. Toby Hegner is out, who was starting at the power forward, and Ronnie Harrell has taken his place. Harrell's starting to look like he's starting to put it together in year 3. Guy who came in with a lot of promise hasn't quite lived up to it, but he's coming more. He looks like he's becoming more of a complete player. He's been showed a little more toughness inside than years past. Looking like a better rebounder, a little stronger inside, but they still lack something inside. Then you got Krampel, packs a little punch on offense, both inside and out. I've been especially impressed with him. And he gives them some toughness inside. The other guy is Suarez, who's a Fordham transfer. He's a serviceable big. Looks like a decent passer. Gives him the size. Plays hard. But that's the bigs are definitely where they lack. The point guard, but that's why they're gonna get better point play this year. And then of course the wings. Another guy on the wing is Mitchell Ballack, who's a freshman. He can really shoot the ball, and he gives them a little something behind Thomas and Foster. He's got a good feel for the game. He plays bigger than I think he is. He played some 4 against Baylor, which isn't always easy. Baylor's always got a big team. But he looks like he's going to be good. And I think him and Tyshawn Alexander looking like they're going to make a pretty good freshman class. Moving to St. John's, you got to tip your cap to Chris Mullen. He's really turning it around, bringing the Johnnies back to respectability after a bunch of years at the bottom of the conference. And hopefully it's keep on going. We can get them towards the top. I think they definitely got a shot at the tournament this year. And I think that's where it starts with them, is with Marcus Lovett and Shmori Ponch in the backcourt. 2 talented lefties who can really fill it up. We saw that last year when they were both freshmen, and they're only getting better. I think that backcourt gets a little help this year. Justin Simon from Arizona. He gives them a little more size, a little more athleticism in the backcourt. Depth was a bit of an issue last year. They had those 2. Then, of course, you got Bashir Med on the wing, who could fill it up, play a little D. And then the inside, you got Tariq Owens, Marvin Clark, and Kasum Yakwe. Yakwe and Tariq Owens are going to protect the paint. They're going to block a lot of shots. Defense, rebound. Not going to give you much offense, which they hope you can get some from Marvin Clark, which they didn't really have last year, inside scoring. But Clark hopefully can bring that. Transfer from Michigan State. A high recruit, didn't get a ton of run at MSU. He's a little more skilled than their other bigs. Should make an impact on both sides of the floor. And he's been praised as a great leader by the St. John's coaches. A big thing with this St. John's team and these transfers should give them more depth and versatility. It should be key. It should only be on the rise, I think, as time goes by. And we'll see with them. So this was the Big East Part 2 preview. Got Providence, Creighton, and St. John's. My name is Matt Kellum. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment if you enjoyed. Thanks.